उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यभिरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्परो प्रपञ्चमातापितरो प्राञ्चौ जायापति स्तुमः. We started on Ullekha alankara. I think we did the example here. So bahubihi bahudollekat ekasya ullekhaha ishyate स्त्रीभिः कामः अर्थिभिः स्वरद्रुः कालः शत्रुभिः ऐक्षि सह. So bahubihi bahudha ullekhat. Bahubihi, there are many people involved here who are looking at the same person in different ways. Ullekhaha here is more like highlighting. So they highlight a person, they look at one particular dharma and look at him as a particular person. So this is done by many people in different ways. So the person they are describing should have many different qualities here. So स्त्रीभिः कामः एक एव राजा तत्र सः स्त्रीभिः काम इव ईक्ष्यते. So he is being seen, but kama iva iti iva nasti atra, even though there is an aropa here. But since that aropa or anything is not specific, so we take it as ekasya ullekhaha bhavati iti. Some people don't accept this also. So later when you read other texts, you will understand that there are so many other alankaras which will swallow this up. But Ullekha in a way is a nice alankara that way. Gajatrata, I think we did this also. Aparam hरणम also we finished. So we have to do the second type of Ullekha now. Dvitiyaha Ullekha. Ekena bahudha ullekhe api asau Vishaya Bhedataha. So there should be a space here. Ekena ekasya vishayasya ekena eva bahudha ullikhyate. Bahudha grihhyate. So bahudha ullekhe api, even though or when there is one person who is looking at the same person as different, then also it is Ullekha alankara. So grahitra bhedat atra bhavati. So whether the grahita is different people or just one person. The example here is Guruhu Vachasi Arjunaha Ayam Kirtau Bhishmaha Sharasane. Vachasi Guruhu. When he speaks, this Raja is like Guru, Brihaspati in speech. He is Brihaspati in speech. He is Arjuna in fame. Arjunaha Ayam Kirtau Bhishmaha Sharasane. And he is Bhishma in archery. Sharasana is Dhanus, bow. Sharasya asanam dhanuhu iti. Ekasya iti purva shlokat anushajyate. Take the earlier shloka here. It says bahubihi bahudhollekat ekasya ullekha. Only one person is perceived, is being perceived in different ways by many people. Here in different, one person is being perceived in many ways by just one person. Ekasya vishayasya bahudharma vishishtasya. The vishaya, or whom we are trying to describe here, has many dharmas, many qualities in him. Ekena iva grahitra. There is only one person looking at that vishaya. Vishaya bhedataha. Here you take vishaya as the dharma. According to one dharma, he is like this. One dharma, another dharma, he is like this. Tatha vishayaha tu atra varnaniyaha itina. वर्णनीये यः विषयः वर्तते अथवा यः धर्मः वर्तते तद्भेदतः इति. बहुधा अनेक प्रकारेण उल्लेखे विषयीकरणे अपि. Even when we try to understand one person in many different ways because of the different dharmas that he possesses, even then that is also called. So api iti vishayikarane api ullekha alankara eva tatra. And the example, Ayam purovarti raja vachasi prabhashane vishaye guruhu brihaspatihi mahanscha. You can either say he is guru each word has a slesha, not necessary that all examples should have a slesha. Here he gives the meaning with the slesha. So when you say Guruhu, it not only means Brihaspati, also means Mahan, Guruhu. Iti. So he is great in words. And Kirtau, Yashasi Vishaye, in the matter of fame, Arjunaha. Arjunaha, there are two meanings for it, Parthaha and Dhawalaha. Arjuna has gotten a great fame, and in the same manner, this king is also very famous like Arjuna. And Dhawalaha, Arjuna is a padam that also means Dhavala, white Shweta. So he has, in fame, he is white in the sense of he has a good fame and not an ill fame. Okay. This white and fame we have been seeing from Upama. Sharasane, Dhanushi Vishaye, in the matters of archery or using the bow, Bhishmaha, Gangeyaha, Bhishma also means Bhayankaraha, Bhishanaha. Iti. So, the moment he takes up his bow, he resembles Bhishma. At the same time, he is also Bhayankaraha. Iti. Atra Ekaeva Raja. So, ekasya, ekenaiva grahitra, only one person looks at him. So, grahita is one person, understands him. Vagadi vishaya bhedat, owing to the differences in the subject matter that he is looking at within that person, bahudha gurutvadi prakaraihi ullikhitaha, iti lakshana samandayaha. So, he is being perceived in different ways. द्वितीय उल्लेखस्य अपरम उदाहरणम् आकृशं कुचयोः कृशं विलग्ने विपुलं चक्षुषी विस्तृतं नितंबे अधरे अरुणिमा आविरस्तु चित्ते करुणाशाली कपाली भागदेयम् आविरस्तु चित्ते करुणाशाली कपाली भागदेयम्. This is very similar to Mukha Panchashati. I think there is a shloka like this. I'm not sure if this has been taken from Mukha Panchashati. Akrisham kuchayoho krisham vilagne. Vilagne na waist, probably. Waist. Yeah. Okay. Waist. So kuchayoho akrisham, she's not thin, she has large breasts, and krisham vilagne, very thin waist, vipulam chakshushi, there is a wideness in her eyes, vistritam nitambe, nitamba bharam tu tatra, it is equal to prithvi iti ambayaha eva atra varnana khalu. So it has the capability of giving birth to all the living beings and the world. So vistritam, it's very wide in the hip portion. Adhare arunam, reddish color in the lower lips. Evam karuna karunashali kapali Bhagadeyam Chitte Avirastu. All of these are adjectives for the fortune of Kapali, fortune of Shiva. And Shiva is a Karunashali, the most Kripa Yuktaha Saha iti karanat. Tasya Bhagadeyam, his fortune. அதாவது புண்ணியம் பண்ணிருக்காருன்னா அந்த புண்ணியத்தினுடைய குவியல் அப்படின்பா புண்ணிய ராசிஹி அம்பாதி கருணாசாலி கபாலி பாகதேயம் ஏவம் வித்யதே. So that's why it is all in Napunsakalinga here. And Tadrisha Bhagadeyam mama chitte avihi astu avirastu, let her appear in my mind. Atra kapali bhagadeyatvena adhyavasitam Parvati Swarupam. So first of all, there is an Adhyavasaya here, as in Atishayokti is also present there. So Parvati is first superimposed as the personification of Bhagavan Shiva's fortune. So Kapali Bhagadeyatvena Adhyavasitam Parvati Swarupam Kuchadi Vishaya Bhedat Akrishatvadi Bahuprakarena Ekenaiva Grahitra. The poet himself who is looking at her is describing her in different ways depending on the different avayavas. So evam grahitra vishayikritam, he understands her in this manner, iti dvitiyaha ullekah. So there is only one grahita here. Okay.
Here arala kesheshu, is that the same alankara that it comes?
Arala kesheshu prakriti
Prakriti
sarala
sarala.
hasite Shirisha bhachitte drashadu parasho bhakuchitate bhrisham danvi madhye pratisarasira roga vishaya jagatratum shambhor jayati karuna jayati ityeva tatra vartate kaha grahita iti noktam. So we'll probably take it as kavihi eva tatra. So you can take it as the second type. Yes. Yeah.
So the in the first type, there was no mention of the dharma, right? In the first type, in the examples that came in the first type.
So
like he's kamaha for somebody else, he is for the he's dana, he's the kalpataru for someone else. There is no mention of the dharma, though it's implied.
Yes.
Right. But
yes.
in the second type, at least in the example that was given for the second type, the Vachasi Guru, who there is a dharma that's given, right?
So you can actually give a dharma or not give a dharma.
Or not give a dharma. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay.
The
so now in the second
one requires dharma because only one person is seeing in many different ways. So to distinguish and differentiate, we need to specify the dharma. Before, in the first Ullekha, different people were seeing him differently. But in the second version, one person is seeing differently.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because in the first type, if you say that the young women see him as Kamaha, and the one who's asking for wealth is seeing him as Kalpataru, yeah, then the implication of the dharma is clear. In the second one, it seems like you do need a dharma. Okay, so I was thinking in that in Bhagavad Gita we have this Pandavanam Arjunosmi. You have another kind of an aropa going on there. It seems like an Ullekha, but the dharma is always implied in that sense because he's
the Pandavanam Arjunaha Asmi is not. That is just he is saying the Sreshtha among them. No. It is not indicating the dharma. It is indicating among a set of people he is the best. That is not Ullekha.
You don't think so? Okay. Okay.
Illa. Here either you need a dharma or a sthanam.
Or a sthanam.
No. Dharma has been mentioned, but there it is different in it. Inga sthanamna and the next one, apparam udaharanatla vandu, it is not a dharma that you are talking about. It is the avayavam that you are talking about. Yeah. So adhikacham. Vishaya is needed for this. And the akrisham kuchayoho krisham vilagne ityatra, you need a vishaya.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. No, that seemed to be completely different to me because you look at the first type and the second type so far, leaving that that last one that we covered, there is at least a rupakam going on. You can say there's a kind of rupakam going on in both those examples. But the final example which he gives, he's completely broken away from the rupakam. It's more of just varnanam, right? There's no rupakam at all there.
It's just vishaya bhedat, how you look at the same person.
Right. So he's
it is bhagadeyam. See, look at it as this way. He is not looking at Parvati's swarupam here, but he is taking it as a personification of one bhagadeyam. That's all. And in appadi edutundada you can fix it. That is why that adhyavasaya is important.
The adhyavasaya refers to a nishchaya, like you're deciding it, you are determining it as if it is the Bhagadeyam.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Adi avasaya.
The Bhagadeyam, ama, correct.
Okay. So then what you're saying is Bhagadeyam, what is it?
Kuchayoho akrisham. So you take the same Bhagadeyam has an akrishatvam in a certain perspective, or it has a krishatvam in certain perspective, vipulatvam in a certain perspective. Appadi. Okay.
What is Kapali Bhagadeyam? Is it
Kapali
like
a
Bhagam of Shiva? Like that?
Kapali na Shivan.
Shiva's Bhagam.
Bhagam illa. Bhagadeyam angardu daivam angarodya. Fortune.
Oh.
Luck, good luck, fortune, his fortune, his luck.
Punyam,
So-
it is a punya vishesha. Because
Okay.
Bhagadeyam is always indicative of Bhagyam nu solromla.
Okay.
அவர் பண்ண பாக்கியம், சிவனோட பாக்கியம் இங்க அப்படியே குவியலா வந்து நிக்கிறது பார்வதி ரூபத்துல. அந்த ரூபம் இப்படி இருக்கு.
And the Karuna Shali Kapali Bhagadeyam is one word, or is there a pause after Karuna Shali? Is there a space?
அப்படி ரெண்டு விதமாவும் எடுத்துக்கலாம். You can take Karunashali as a separate word also, because then it will be an adjective to the Bhagadeyam, or Karunashali Kapali Tasya Bhagadeyam. Karunapurnaha Shivaha Tatra.
கருணாசாலி கபாலி தான் மேம்.
வாஸ்தவம் தான். யாருக்கும் வந்து விஷத்தை சாப்பிடுற ஒரு இது கிடையாது. கரெக்ட் தான்.
கபாலி தான்.
ஒத்துவேன்.
करुणाशालिनः कपालेः भागधेयम्.
Yes. So Karunashali cha saha kapali, Karunashali kapali. It is in a karmadharya, and then you do tasya bhagadeyam.
So if perceiver is many, then it is first type. If the perceiver is only one person, then it is second type.
Second type, yes.
Ma'am,
Okay.
So I was initially
talk about the Narada initially talks about the 16 qualities of Rama.
Konvasmin sampratam loke.
அதுல வந்து he says காலாக்னி சத்ருஷ க்ரோதஹ க்ஷமயா பிருத்திவி சமஹ விஷ்ணுமா.
Wait. First ஒன்னொன்னாப்பா. சத்ருஷஹா வந்துருதா? Then what alankara is that?
Oh, it's not rupakam then.
Upama.
Okay.
Upama, sadrishaha, samaya. இதெல்லாம் வருதோ இல்லையோ? These are all words that indicate upama. So it is an upama vachaka shabda.
Okay.
Yeah.
so it's really not even, it's not a variant of Rupakam. It is actually completely from a different perspective. You don't need Rupakams to sustain this alankara. Right?
No, that's
No,
why I
don't
was
need it.
confused for this example.
But the same person is seen in different ways, so it's not Ullekha there.
It is Ullekha, that's what I'm saying. Yes, this is Ullekha.
In Ramayana, like
sadrishaha iti upama vachaka padam vartate, tasmat tatra upama eva. Malopama vanna sollikkalam. You can say malopama. It's not Ullekha there. Eva sadrishaha ityadikam tu vartate. So why do you can't say it is Ullekha?
We have that thing, right? Griheshu mantri, for wife they have lot
That
of
is
qualities.
Ullekha.
That is Ullekha.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Mother, in this shloka, in the big book says something about shleshasya abhavaha shuddham, like that.
So in this shloka, we saw the shlesha of two meanings for Guru, two meanings for Arjuna, and two meanings for Bhishmaha. Guruhu iti Brihaspatihi Mahan Sreshtaha, Arjunaha iti Dhawalaha and Madhyama Pandavaha, Bhishmaha is Gangeyaha and Bhayankaraha. So there was a shlesha involved there. Here there is no shlesha at all. It's the direct meaning. We don't need the second meaning at all for this.
Is there any second meaning available?
Dhavalatvam as in Kirtiman. So he is white with respect to Kirti. Dhavala Kirtihi.
Okay.
Not ill fame.
Got it.
Okay. Move on to the next one. Smrti, Bhranti and Sandeha alankaraha. He gives them in just one thing because it's there in half shlokas. So Syat Smrti, Bhranti, Sandehaihi Tad Anka Alankriti Trayam. So Smriti Mad Alankaraha, Bhranti Mad Alankaraha, Sasandeha Alankaraha. Usually that's how you say it because Smritihi yatra vartate. So Smritiman alankaraha. Wherever there is an expression of Smriti, then wherever there is an expression of Bhranti, illusion, Sandeha, doubt. These three are, that is why he says Tadanka Alankriti Trayam. Yatra Smritihi vartate, Bhrantihi vartate, atava Sandeha vartate, tena Smritaya Smritya Bhrantya, tena Sandehena cha. Tadanka, the name itself comes as a chinnam in the name of the alankara. We have three alankaras here. Smriti, Bhranti, Sandehaihi. Sadrishyat nibadhyamanaihi. Just I remember going to this place is not Smriti Madalankara. There should be a Sadrishya Nibandhana as the base. You have to have a similarity between two things. The moment I see a creeper, I remember a woman. Then when you express that in a shloka format, it becomes a Smriti Madalankara. So Sadrishyam should be the base for it, moolam for it. So Sadrishyat nibadhyamanaihi, when because of Sadrishya, or based on Sadrishya, when Smriti, Bhranti and Sandeha are nibadhyamana, when it is being constructed in the form of a shloka, tad anka alankriti trayam. We have that as an anka or chinnam for the alankara. Smriti, Bhranti, Sandeha pada ankita alankara trayam. We have three alankaras which are ankita, chinhitam, symbolized by the words Smriti, Bhranti and Sandeha. So what are the names of those alankaras? Kramena, Smritiman, Bhrantiman, Sasandeha iti bhavitavyaha atra. Sasandeha iti trayaha alankaraha bhavanti. Smrititvam, Bhrantitvam, Sandehatvam cha tesham kramena lakshanam. So the lakshanam or the definition for each of these alankaras, for Smritiman alankaraha, Smritimad alankara, the definition is Smrititvam yatra vartate. Sadrishyat Smrititvam yatra vartate, tattu Smritimad alankaraha. And then Sadrishyat yatra Bhrantitvam vartate, you take that as Bhrantimad alankaraha. Sadrishyat Sandehatvam yatra vartate, sacha Sasandeha alankaraha. Sadrishya moolanam eva smrityadinam chamatkaritvat alankaratvam siddhyet. Only when there is a sadrishyam, only when it is based on similarity can there be a chamatkara there or a beauty there which can be appreciated. Simply, I forgot, I remembered that I had to do this work today. Iti smarami iti na kevalam tatra bhavati alankaratvam. So smrititvam cha smarami iti anubhava sakshikaha jati visheshaha. So anubhava sakshikaha iti chet, it has anubhava as its witness. So you remember something, which means it has to have happened first somewhere first time. So anubhavaha is the first experience, and then anubhavajanya smritihi, that which comes from anubhava. Anubhava is always pratyaksham or pramanatvena yatra vishayaha grihyate sacha anubhavaha. Anubhavajanya smritihi. Smriti comes from that anubhava, first hand experience. If you don't even know the vishaya, you can't say, oh, this is equal to that or this is similar to that. I remember her because if you don't have the first hand experience, then you can't even use this smaranam there. Visheshya avritti prakaraka jnanatvam brahmatvam. Okay. Visheshyasya avrittihi yatra vartate tadrisha prakaraka jnanatvam. So probably done a chart. The jnanam where there is a visheshya and a prakara. Prakara is visheshanam. Let's say there is a nilo ghataha. Nilatvam becomes the visheshanam or prakaraha. Visheshya is your ghataha. Ghatatvam becomes the visheshyam. Now, visheshya avritti prakarakam. You are looking at, let's say, you're looking at a shukti and thinking that it is rajatam. Shuktau rajata brahmaha katham vartate shuktihi tu tatra. That is the visheshyam. And rajatam is the prakara. Visheshye prakaraha na bhavati tatra. Is it clear? So adada kilinjalla. In an oyster, you do not have silver at all. But suddenly there is so much of sun and there is a shine on that oyster, and so you think it is rajatam. Now, how do you say idam rajatam? Iti vadamaha. Idam becomes your visheshya. That is what you are going to qualify. Now, what are you saying it as? You are saying idam rajatam. So rajatam becomes the prakaram for it, visheshana for it. But that prakaram does not exist in the Visheshya. It is a illusory appearance of silver on that oyster shell. So Visheshya avrittihi yaha prakaraha tadrisha prakaraka jnanam eva brahmaha. Is it clear? So ekasmin dharma.
Yeah, it is saying the same thing. The Gajatrata iti, that Ullekha also is saying Bhranti mat alankara. How is that?
அது அப்புறம் வருவோம். முதல்ல பிராந்திமத் என்னன்னு பார்த்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் we will go for that.
ஒரு நிமிஷம். அவருத்தி என்ன?
ந வர்த்ததே தத்ர இதி.
पुनः the way you read it, प्रकारस्य आवृत्तिः वा?
विशेष्ये आवृत्तिः प्रकारः. So there is आवृत्तित्वं प्रकारे, विशेष्य आवृत्तित्वं प्रकारे वर्तते.
आवृत्तित्वं प्रकारे. So आवृत्तिः प्रकारन அப்படி சொல்ல முடியுமா?
அப்படி வராது. விசேஷ்ய आवृत्ति प्रकारक ज्ञाனம் அப்படி போடணும்ங்க. So அது சமாசத்துல போடணும். ஆமா.
Okay, आवृत्ति प्रकार. So यह प्रकारः यस्मिन् प्रकारे आवृत्तत्वम् अस्ति इति वा, something like that.
Yes, विशेष्य आवृत्तित्वं यस्मिन् प्रकारे वर्तते तादृश प्रकारक ज्ञानम्.
Yeah, because the sentence was not clear from when is that the way it is in the book? I mean, it's a bit misleading, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, okay.
This is upper.
I mean, in R.S. Vadiyar's book, it is obviously like that. It seems to be some kind of mistake. Am I right?
Mistake irkumaan enak solla therla.
Avrittihi prakaraha எப்படி வரும் என்ன புரியல அதுல. அன்வயः கதம்.
Avrittihi yaha prakaraha ஏன் வரக்கூடாது? That which does not have an existence தானே.
அபாவஹ பிரகாரஹன்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா? சொல்ல முடியாது இல்ல. அப்போ எப்படி அவருத்திஹி பிரகாரம் எப்படி சொல்ல முடியும்?
வரேன் ஒரு நிமிஷம். சோ பிரமத்வம்க்கு தானே டெஃபினிஷன் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். அயம் பங்கஜஹ மதுபஹ ஸ்மிருதி பிராந்தி சந்தேஹ சாத்ருஷ்யாத் ஸ்மிருதிமான். ஓகே, தச்ச கிரமேண உதாஹ்ரியதே. இந்த இடத்துல he must have
minus disappeared.
என்னாச்சு?
காணுமே திடீர்னு ஸ்மிருதி.
இல்ல நான் வந்து இத போடல, இப்ப இன்னொரு டெக்ஸ்ட் எடுத்திருக்கேன். இருங்க.
ஓகே.
ஓகே, I don't.
Okay. அவித்யமான பிரகாரஹ இதி வா.
அவித்யமானஹ பிரகாரஹங்கற மாதிரி தான் அது அவருத்தி பிரகாரகான்னு எடுத்துக்கணும்.
ஓகே.
ஏனா
that's a bit okay, fine. Got it. Sorry to.
So ekasmin dharmani viruddha nana dharma vaishishtya jnanatvam sandehatvam. So first one is smrititvam, is defining smrititvam, saying where there is a smarami iti anubhava sakshikaha jati visheshaha. Initially you should have had an anubhava, and then based on that anubhava you are looking at something else and trying to say smarami. The second one is brahma. Brahma is where there is an object and you are trying to see a visheshana which is not present on that object. The third one is sandeha. Ekasmin dharmani, in dharmi, not dharmini. Dharmi is that which has the dharma. So dharmini in the substratum viruddha nana dharma vaishishtya jnanatvam is sandehatvam. There are different dharmas. नाना धर्माः वर्तन्ते, ते तु धर्माः परस्परं विरुद्धाः वर्तन्ते. So विरुद्ध नाना धर्म वैशिष्ट्य ज्ञानम. So you have the visheshana of different dharmas and you are trying to grasp, you are trying to have dvikotikam or trikotikam. However, it can be many types of dharmas which you perceive in that particular object. Okay, so tathacha kavi sammata sadrishyat. We need a kavi sammata sadrishyam. Sadrishyam is not what I simply understand, but more what is there available in so many other kavyas, and we are through abhyasa we have understood what can be equated, what can be Sadrishyam tatra, with what can we compare? Okay. So with what comparison can be made? So kavi sammata sadrishyat vishaya vishayinoho. Vishaya, what we are trying to describe, vishayi is the upamanam. Vishayinoho anya tad darshanena, anya darshanena anyatara smriti varnane smritimat alankaraha. Anya darshanena anyatara smriti varnane smritimad alankaraha. When you see one object, you are thinking of another object. In the word edo seriyalla. This is a different edition. Let me check. Kavis Vishaya Vishayinoho Anyatara Darshanena Anyatara Smritihi. So when you see one, you are remembering another object. So Anyataram is something different. Varnane Smritimad Alankaraha. Next is Bhranti Vishaye Mukhado Vishayi Padmadi Brahma Varnane. When there is once you see the examples, you will understand this more. So there is an illusory appearance of the upamanam on the upameya. That is called Bhranti Madalankara. Sadrishayoho Vishaya Vishayanoho. Both the Vishaya and the Vishayi are similar, but Vishesha Adarshanat, you are unable to distinguish between the two. That is Sandeha Varnanam. You are including by saying, is it this or that? Between the upamana and the upameya. So the first one
look like Utpreksha only, right? There is difference. No,
there is definitely a difference. Once we see the examples, you will know. Yeah. Pankajam Pashyataha.
In the Bhranti Alankara, it is possible for it to happen. Utpreksha is something totally impossible, fancy that is, right?
Ama. Adla vandu noonam manye adallam irukkanum. Pankajam Pashyataha Kantamukham me Gahate Manaha. Smritimad Alankarasya Udaharanam. So this is an example for Smritimat. What is he saying? Pankajam Pashyataha. As I see the lotus, Pankajam Pashyataha me Manaha, my mind which is looking at the, or as I am looking at the lotus, my mind enters or thinks about Kanta Mukham. Gahate na Smrti. Or it immediately enters into that phase. Abdi gahate nale majjanam iti ekaha arthaha. You can take it as smaranam. So immediately my mind goes into thinking about her. So pankajam pashyataha mama manaha kantayaha mukam gahate smarati ityatra pankaja darshanena. So anyatara darshanena anyatara smaranam. Tat sadrisha kanta mukha smriti varnanat. He remembers the vishaya. So it is a smritimad alankara. Yeah. The aparam udaharanam here is Divyanamapi krita vismayam purastat ambastaha spurad aravinda charuhastam udvikshya shriyamiva kanchid uttarantim asmarshit jalanidhi manthanasya shaurihi. 1 minute. Divyanamapi krita vismayam purastad ambhasta spurad aravinda charuhastam udvikshya shriyamiva kanchid uttarantim asmarshit jalanidhi manthanasya shaurihi. Shaurihi jalanidhi manthanasya asmarshit, he immediately, so Shauri here is Vishnu. So the context here is Vishnu is Krishna. As Krishna, he has taken the avatara as Krishna here, and he is playing in the water with the gopis. So Jalakrida karoti, Jalakridayam ambasaha nirgachantim kanchit sundarim pashyataha krishnasya. So he is looking at a woman who is coming out of the waters. She is looking beautiful. So he immediately thinks about Samudra Mathanam, because she's got a form which is giving, that is, people are surprised to look at her. Divyanam api krita vismayam. She என்ன சொல்ற, தேவர்களுக்கும் ஒரு ஆச்சரியத்தை கொடுக்கறவளா இருக்கா அவ. So even the devas feel that she is a beauty unparalleled here. Purastat ambastaha udvikshya, as she is coming out of the waters, ambastaha, from the waters, uttarantim, she is coming out of the water. Spurad aravinda charuhastam, she is also having a lotus in her hand. Charuhastam, the hand is also beautiful because of the lotus that is there in her hand, and so she looks like Shriyam Iva, she looks like Shrihi, Lakshmi. Lakshmi Iva Kanchit Uttarantim Udvikshya, looking at her as if she is Lakshmi. Shauri, Krishna, remembered Jaladi Mathana Samayam, when Lakshmi also came out of the Ksheerabdhi. Jalakridayam ambasaha nirgachantim, uttarantim nirgachantim, kanchit sundarim pashyataha krishnasya, sadrisha Lakshmi smriti purvakam. She is looking very similar to Lakshmi, who also came out of the Ksheerasagara. Her form was so beautiful that all the devas were also vismitaha. Spurad aravinda charuhastam, she also had a lotus in her hand. Here also this lady seems to have a lotus in her hand. So tat sambandhinaha jalanidhi manthanasya smritihi atra varnita. He is described asmarshit, he remembered. This is a lunglakara here. So he remembered about the jaladi mathanam. So whatever was associated with the samudra mathanam, the smriti associated with that, the memory, nostalgic memory, has been described here. So it is a smriti mad alankara. You should have some word like asmarshit, smrita, any forms of smriti dhatu or gaha dhatu, chintayati, something like that.
I mean, this is a great example for people who study Shashti Sheshe. Under that, there is one sutra, Matu Smrti. Right?
It's an example.
Yeah, so this is perfect. I was looking for, a real world example, and this is awesome. Jaranidhi Mantanasya, the Shashti is not, Sambandha Shashti, or, it's like...
No, this is Shesha Shashti.
Shesha Shashti, yeah. It's a nice example.
Yeah, because he did not think about only the manthanam, but manthana vishaye yadyad asita tat sarvam, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, including, of course, Lakshmi rising from the sea, right?
Yes. The next one is Bhranti mad alankara. Ayam pramatta madhupaha tvanmukham vetti pankajam. So pramatta madhupaha, this ayam madhupaha dvirepaha, pramattaha asti, madaparavashaha asti. It is an intoxicated bee. Madhupaha dvirepaha tava mukham pankajam vetti, he thinks your face is pankajam, he thinks your face is lotus. That is why this bee keeps on coming near you and trying to look for madhu there. So tava mukhe pankajatva buddhim karoti, pankajam vetti, he thinks your face is lotus. Abdina mukhe pankajatva buddhim karoti, he has the brahma, he has the illusion of pankajatvam in this face. Iti sadrishyena hetuna, because of the reason of sadrishyam, similarity, pankajatva abhavavati mukhe, the mukham does not have pankajatvam, the quality of being a lotus is not present in the face. Still pankajatva prakaraka jnana varnanate, it seems as if the bee is looking at this lotus, it is looking at this face as if it will look at a lotus. So it thinks it is a lotus, so it sees lotus in her face. Appo adu Bhranti. Okay. Yes, Janani.
Ma'am, sorry, on the previous example, I forgot to ask. Adla vande, is Krishna seeing some random water nymph and he is remembered of, like he is reminded of Lakshmi?
ஆமா, கோபிகைகளோட ஜலக்கிரீடை நடக்கும் பொழுது அதுல there is one lady who comes out of it and he remembers that. அதுதான்.
Okay.
அவ பாக்குறதுக்கு லக்ஷ்மி மாதிரி இருக்காருன்னு ஞாபகப்படுத்திக்கிறேன்.
Ma'am is looking at the rope like a snake, also Bhranti?
Yes, Brahmam, அதேதான். பட் பிராந்தி மத் அலங்காரம் கிடையாது. அது வந்து அது அந்த மாதிரி எழுதணும். அப்போ if it is in a காவியம் where அது வந்து ஒரு ஸ்லோகம் ஃபார்மேட்ல வந்து அந்த சிச்சுவேஷனும் அழகா இருந்து அது சமத்காரமா இருக்கணும். அப்போ எஸ் அது பிராந்திமத். இல்லைன்னா இட் இஸ் கேவலம் பிரமஹா, பிராந்திஹி இருக்கு. ஆனா பிராந்திமத் அலங்காரமா சொல்றதுக்கு அது வந்து ஒரு அழகு வேணும் அதுல. சரியா? பலாஷ குசும பிராந்தியா சுகதுண்டே பதத்யலிஹி சோபி ஜம்பூபல பிராந்தியா தமலிம் தர்த்தும் இச்சதி. Okay. Shuka tunde, Shuka is a parrot here, and a parrot's and the alagumbo beak, and the parrot's beak is actually very red in color, and the alihi bee thinks that it is a palasha kusuma brantya, because of that it thinks that it is palasha pushpam, thinking that it is a palasha flower. Shukatunde alihi patati. The bee falls on the beak of the parrot, thinking that it is a palasha flower, thinking that it could take madhu from there. Now, so api, there is a mutual bhranti here. The shuka also, shukaha api, jambu phala brantya. It thinks that this bee is a jambu phalam. Nagappalam solrol, yeah. So that it thinks it is a jambu phalam. So jambu phala brantya tam alim dhartum ichchati. It is also trying to hold that bee with its beak, thinking that it is a fruit. Atra enna solrar mare. Atra bhramarasya shukatunde palasha pushpa bhrantihi shukasya cha भ्रमरे जम्बूफल भ्रांतिः इति परस्पर भ्रांति वर्णनम विशेषः. That is the difference between the original example and this अपरम उदाहरणम. In the original example there was only one type of भ्रांति. Only one person had an illusory this thing brahma about the other thing. Here there is a paraspara भ्रांति.
It's simply amazing. I mean, the observation power of the poet is so awesome.
The Palasha Kusma flower will not have the fragrance, is it?
Ama. It's not supposed to have any good fragrance. It will look beautiful.
But still it will have madhu.
Mm-hmm. Is it hibiscus, ma'am?
No.
Yeah.
No. I have a feeling it is this flame of the forest.
Forest fire, that's what they call
it. Flame of the forest.
Flame of forest, yeah, sorry. And it is, in Kannada we say muttuga. They make, for eating food, they make that layer. With that is from the same plant. In another word is kimshuka, right? In Sanskrit,
kimshuka, yes.
Kimshuka.
We use the petals to keep nails.
Muttuga is what we call.
You know, these fake nails that they put nowadays, we used to do that with the flowers of that.
Isn't the Palasha tree the one from which you make the stick during the Upanayanam for the Brahmanas?
Yes, same. Same.
Yeah. Tamil is
Parasamaram, yeah.
Purasu, adada Palasha.
It is not Palasa Kusma is different from Palasamaram.
Palasha Marathunuடைய flower தானே Palasha pushpama இருக்கணும்.
Same.
அப்படிதான் Purasam.
Purasam Samit is differently, madam.
தெரியல எனக்கு. I don't know. You can see. I think it's the same thing. தெரியல. Okay. Sandeha alankarasya udaharanam pankajam va sudamshurva iti asmakam tu na nirnayaha. Now here also you can't just say stanurva purushova iti. You can't just talk about whether it is a pillar or a human. That kind of a description or sandeha that you talk about is only in normal parlance. But when it comes to the poetry, it has to be based on sadrishyam. You need similarity. Pankajam va sudhamshurva iti asmakam tu nirnayaha. Atra mukham pankajam va drishtva. You can either take pankajam as the vishaya, or you can take an entirely third object as the vishaya, which is the mukham, naika mukham, and you can doubt as to whether this is a lotus or a moon. I am not able to decide. whether to compare it to a lotus or to compare it to a, not compare. Actually, it is, the comparison is underlying, but he is just saying, I don't know whether to call this a lotus or to call this a moon. So you can look at the third object of mukham, or you can look at a lotus and say, pankajam drishtva evam sandihyate idam pankajam va, whether it is its true nature, which is pankajam, or it looks like the moon, as you know, if it is a white shweta pankajam prayaha bhavati, or it is like the moon which is reddish in color during the sunset also. So it is like the pinkish lotus here. So whether this lotus is moon or not, I am unable to say. Athava Sudhamshuhu Chandraha iti asmakam nirnayaha. We are unable to make a decision. Atra pankajatva sudhamshutva ubhayakotika jnanam sadrishyamulakam iti sasandeha alankaraha. So sadrishyamulakam, it is based on similarity, and the doubt arises as to whether there is pankajatvam here or if there is sudhamshutvam, chandratvam here.
So when we say ubhaya kotikatvam, we mean two-sidedness, or we mean two different points. And the koti, is it like, what is the close English parallel you would draw to that word?
Dvikotikam.
Dvikotikam, ubhaya kotikam. Two-sided, two. How would you describe it?
Koti na 2 points of consideration.
Okay, 2 points. Okay. Okay.
Koti is end, right? Like one.
Koti na end na vechikalam, but here we would take it as a point of reference.
So there are two. So it appears as two different points of reference.
Or two choice in eduthukarda.
Choice sounds nice. Choice sounds nice. Okay.
Satisfied. Okay. So dvikotika jnanam sadrishyamulakam. Inge edum potrukar. Nirnaya bhinna sambhavana bhinna jnanatvam sandehatvam. See, there is nirnaya bhinnam. You are not unable to make a decision. Nirnayaha yatra nasti. There is also no sambhavana here. Idam tu noonam pankajam eva iti. There is no poetic fancy there. You are not adichu sollala. This is a pankajam ityapi. So sambhavana bhinnam api. Is it possible that it could be, I think it is a pankajam ityadikam tu tatra utprekshayam bhavati. Whereas here you don't have sambhavana, neither do you have a nirnaya, a force of decision. Tadrisha jnanam yatra vidyate tatraiva sasandeha alankara. Aparam udaharanam jivanagraha.
In that sasandeha alankara, will we have only dvikotikam or can it be trikotikam?
When you take it as mukham, you can either doubt it as nariya irukku. Adenna Chandana Sekaha. Or Bhuttaramacharithatla, there is one shloka where he doubts when Sita comes and touches Rama. Rama is doubtful about whether this is Chandanasya Utsekaha athava abdinu or shlokam undu. Adile 3 alla alla 4-5 irukum adile. Okay. Very nice. Jivana grahane namraha grihitva punarunnataha kim kanishtaha kimujjeshtaha Gati yantrasya durjanaha. Durjanaha Ghati yantrasya jeshtaha va kanishtaha va iti kalpita kotika sandeha. So you are doing a kalpana here, and there is a similarity itina. So you actually do a kalpana and then you have a doubt here. So jivana grahane namraha punar unnataha grihitva punar unnataha. So when you are trying to take the life, suddenly this seems so new to me. So Ghati yantrasya jeshtaha are these bad people, they are more, they are older than the Ghati yantram or not? Our clock apatti solrar nanikiren. Yeah, and the pulli.
Pulli, correct.
Okay, it's talking about the puli which connects the yantram, puli which connects the ghatam. So ghati yantram. So ghati yantra, the puli which keeps pulling out water from the well, jivana grahane namraha, as it tries to when their life is at stake, they are actually very, very namraha. They become very the durjanaha. I'm talking about the durjanas here. The bad people can be very submissive when their life is at stake, and at the same time, punar unnataha. They again, when they get their life, they become very garvitaha bhavantaha. So they are, at some points, they are very low in their life, in their attitude towards life, and sometimes they when they gain prominence, then they become unnataha. This is like the water puli, which is also, in order to get the water, it goes down low to get the water from the well, and then punaha unnataha grihitva. Once it gains the water, then it comes up. Can take it in this way also. When the wicked person wants to take the life of another person, he will go to stoop down to any level. And then once he has gotten them in his grasp, then he will show his power. So punar unnataha. Now do we take it as durjanaha ghatiyantrasya jeshtaha va kanishtaha va? Are they greater than this puli or not? Or are they lesser than the puli? So atra durjanaha ghatiyantrasya jeshtaha va kanishtaha va iti kalpita kotikaha sandeha. So there is a kalpana here. Kavi kalpana, kavi pratibha. Purva udaharane tu prasiddha kotikaha. So you take a prasiddha upamanam. Here he is kalpita upamanam. That's all. Clear?
Now can we see that Dvitiya Ullekasya, Pratama Ullekasya Aparam Udaharanam, that Gajatrata iti Vriddhabhihi.
Adlenna.
How is that Bhranti mat alankara also is there in that?
He says there is Bhranti mat alankara also in this?
Yeah, and Sankaraha. Bhranti mat alankara Sankaraha.
Aropa sadbhavatu Rupa Sankirnatvam iti asti. Okay? Rupakam is also here. So Rupakena saha eva atra Sankirnaha.
That is there. But the big book says Bhranti mat alankara Sankaraha.
Bhranti matna, and there is a Brahma as to whether he is a Gajatrata or not. Illa he is just a Bala or he is a Yuvaka. How can there be both Yuvaka? Each one is ஒரு காமன் உபமானத்தை வச்சுண்டு பொதுவா பார்க்கக்கூடிய ஒரு இளைஞனை வச்சு அங்க வந்து ஆரோபம் பண்ணி பாக்குறான். அந்த மாதிரி எடுத்துக்கிறார் இல்லையா? எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் என்ன போட்டிருக்காரு?
Everyone is not sure. They like the Vriddhas are sure that he is Gajatrata. Bhranti mat means where they don't have the nishchayam is not there, right?
எங்க போட்டிருக்கார்? அத முதல்ல சொல்லுங்க. அத்ரைவ உதாஹரணம் வரேன். இங்கயா? So Bahu Varsha Ganamati Krishna Drishtaha, whereas Ingarke Ukta Abhilasha Dvaya Vaidhuryat Ityatra Anekada Ullekhe Samsara Bhayartito Utkantha Kanme.
It is okay, I'll send the picture then.
I can't see that here. Okay. Rupaka Sankirnaha Ityeva Asti Gajatrata Ityatra tu Vastutaha Bhagavati Sadbhavat Rupaka Asambhavena Shuddha Ullekaha iti Udaharanayoho Bedaha. அப்படியும் எடுத்துக்கலாம்ங்கற. இத மற்ற விசாரணியம்னு போட்டு ஒரு பெருசா இத போட்டு குழப்பிக்காதீங்க. Don't confuse yourself with all that. Just take it as Rupakam and Ullekha alankara for now. சரியா?
Okay.
Don't confuse.